This video will outline how to create a grade item within the Grades tool. There are a variety of ways to create grade items. So for example, if you're creating an assignment, you can do it right there. But some teachers like to build out their grades, right at the beginning of the year because they know what summative ones that they're going to have. Or if you have a grade item for something that happened in class that, it's not something submitted through another tool, you just want to put the mark in that way. You would basically create the grade item through this method. So go into grades. You're going to want to make sure that you've already set up your grades, for student view or for grade calculation, and those are available in other videos within the VLE PLE. So to create a new grade item, go to Manage Grades, go to New, click that, and you want a new item. Now there are a variety of different things that you can have here, and depending on whether you are elementary or secondary, you are going to select different things here. So for elementary, you might more lean towards select box or different a text feedback, that type of thing. If in secondary, those are still very helpful for formative feedback, but if it is a particular mark where you have to attach an actual grade item, you're going to choose numeric. So in that case, I'm just going to click on that one. So click on numeric, and then you are going to name it. So if it is an existing, assignment or discussion, you generally want to name the grade item the same thing so that those line up. So let's just say, in this case, it is Shakespeare essay. You can do a short name. So what a short name does is if this is a really long name, so like Shakespeare, Romeo and Juliet essay, this is a long title, so I might just do R&J essay. This will just show up smaller when looking at the grade items in the chart form. So it is a nice thing if you have a lot of longer name ones. You can choose which category. So if you are actually calculating out your grades, you would have different categories here for like term works, final culminating work, that type of thing. You can do a description of the grade item. This is mostly for you, just as a reminder of what's included and things like that as part of the grade item. What it's out of, you do want to make sure that whatever it's out of matches if you have, let's say, a rubric. So if this grade item is also going to be attached to a rubric and the rubric is out of 40, you want to make sure it's out of 40. Or obviously if you have like a rubric that you're using in person, it's out of 40, that's matching. Generally, we don't want to exceed or have bonuses. You can choose to exclude it, so that would be obviously more of a formative assignment that you're including. In this case, let's assume that it is. And then whether to add a rubric or not. I will note, if this grade item is going to be attached to an assignment, you do not add the rubric here. You're going to add the rubric to the assignment. If you add the rubric here, it won't let you attach this grade item to the assignment. It's a little frustrating and a little wonky, but that's how it works. So you will not attach the rubric here. The only time you really would is if this is a grade item for something that's happening in class. So let's assume this is actually a Romeo and Juliet presentation. So you're watching it in class but marking it through Brightspace. Then you could attach the rubric because the students are never actually submitting anything to the assignment area. You're going to be doing it all through grades. Okay. The display options you're going to leave as is because you will have already set up the grades through the setup wizard. Again, that's available in another video within the VLE PLE. There are a few restrictions and things like that you can go through as well. So you can have different start dates, different availabilities. You can attach release conditions. So if this is a particular item that has some accommodations for students with IEPs, and you've created 2 grade items, then you would, attach you'd create a new release condition for a student with an IEP, and they'd be in a particular group, so that they would see it. Okay, and then if you are attaching curricular expectations, you can do that here. But in general, that's it in terms of setting up the grade item. Press save and close, and at that point, you've now created it. I will note the only other nice thing within Manage Grades is it does show you what the grade item is associated with. So if this was an essay, I would probably then create an assignment and attach this grade item to that assignment, because that's where students are going to be submitting the essay, and you'll then see assignment show up here, or discussion, or whatever this grade is attached to, what other tool within the VLE, it will show up here. In this case, if it was, or in another case, if this was a presentation where again I'm marking it and the only place students will see the mark is here, you just wouldn't have an association. But that's how to create a grade item within the VLE.